tonight, tough questions for Alabama and Auburn officials in our investigative report exposing their football stadiums are missing handrails for those with accessibility needs.
Yeah, first, through our investigation in July, we learned that a lack of handrails on the stairs puts Legion Field in Birmingham out of compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. It turns out it is not the only stadium in Alabama that is missing those handrails. Now CBS 42 investigative reporter Jen Cardone shows us how Alabama and Auburn stack up.
The ADA says 25% of Americans have a significant disability that impacts one or more major life activities. Add to that an aging population, one accident, or getting another year older, and before you know it, you could end up being the next person needing something to hold on to climb the stairs at the Iron Bowl. It's one of the most highly anticipated games of the year, Alabama versus Auburn. But anytime you're in Tuscaloosa or Auburn, getting to your seats could be a problem. It's something Bobby Pearson understands well.
The problem that's going on at these stadiums is not just a problem for handicapped individuals.
At Bryant-Denny and Jordan-Hare stadiums, both are missing something that's required by the Americans with Disabilities Act, handrails.
Going up those bleachers, you have to hope that you could lean on their shoulder and you could go up. And if you were to make a slip, God bless you. That's all I can say.
Something we saw as this woman struggles to leave her section at Bryant-Denny.
Sooner or later, we're all going to need that handrail.
Barry Whaley is the project director of the Southeast ADA Center. It offers information, training, and guidance on the ADA.
The standards are pretty clear that any interior or exterior stairs that are a means of egress have to be accessible and have to have handrails.
I just keep finding again and again, it seems like if it's not like a professional field, they don't have them.
But they do have requirements under the law to be fully accessible. And they could very well be sued under enforcement of the ADA.
Jordan-Hare opened in 1939, Bryant-Denny 10 years earlier. Both got renovations and upgrades as recently as this football season. Whaley says just because they're older does not mean they're excluded from needing handrails.
There is no such thing as being grandfathered in.
Both schools have sections of their websites dedicated to accessibility. Auburn University Athletics says it's committed to providing complete accessibility. Quote, Auburn University recognizes the needs of persons with disabilities as defined by the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, of 1990, and continues to make every effort to accommodate individuals consistent with both ADA and state of Alabama accessibility mandates, end quote. The website goes on to say that if you need accessible seating, you can contact the ticket office or must watch for special accessible seating options when ordering online. It says ADA seating is generally available in sections 17, 18, 33, 35, 37, and 44. Meanwhile, at Bryant-Denny Stadium, accessible seating is in the lower east sideline, section ADA-E, upper north end zone, sections NN1 through NN14, and upper south end zone, sections SS1 through SS14. The school says it is willing to exchange seats 4 hours before the game. These seats are not guaranteed.
You said you were going to see this through and through at the handrails.
Yes, I am. Every chance I get, I want to keep this in the media.
So I started wondering if this was common with other college football stadiums. You can see here at Kroger Field, where Alabama played last week, they clearly have handrails and people are using them. The SEC tells me it is the responsibility of each institution to adhere to policies established by the ADA. After my repeated attempts for comment for weeks, neither Alabama nor Auburn has granted my request. Reporting in the studio, Jen Cardone, CBS 42 News.
And so I just want to follow up with that. While CBS 42 did not receive that requested formal on-camera interview, we did receive a response from both of those schools. Auburn University saying it has handrails in the east and west upper decks and all vamatories leading to seating areas. You can also get assistance to your seats by sending a text to 334-591-HELP. That's from Auburn. Now, the University of Alabama tells us the lower bowl was constructed prior to the 1970s. In a statement, a spokesperson says, quote, the ADA standards, as you referenced, were updated in 2010. Since the lower bowl predates those standards, it is not subject to those requirements, including the placement of handrails. That's end quote from the University of Alabama. Of course, you can read all of that information from both of the schools on our website right now at CBS42.com.
CBS 42, of course, is your voice, your station. And at first glance, that might look like a trash pile. But then if you look closer, you're going to see it's a huge debris pile caught underneath a railroad bridge on a popular waterway in Talladega County. And that debris is causing flooding and other environmental issues along the Coosa River. April McGee called CBS 42 for help, and our Jen Cardone got some answers.
After seeing train derailments across the country, April McGee worries the structural integrity of this bridge may have weakened after debris was pushing up against it. She's also worried the Coosa River will continue to flood without a cleanup plan.
Was this like this last time I was here?
We've been called back for a second time now to investigate after this train trestle clogged up the Talladega Creek of the Coosa River.
Well, not too long after you guys left, it started building back up.
April McGee owns Pop's Place Boat Launch. McGee says she and her neighbors have been flooded out because of this debris pile, now out of control.
With all the rains and floods this year, it's gotten piled up again to where we can't manage it.
The pile riddled with anything from trash cans to chunks of trees. Coosa River keeper Justin Overton says it causes persistent flooding and increases sediment in the water, harming water life's habitats.
What's happening is that with these floods where the bank is eroding, which is contributing to that sedimentation issue, but also you're having the bank start to collapse and more trees are falling because the creek bed is scouring itself out.
Overton calls this a preventable catastrophe for both the trains that cross the bridge and the boaters below.
The excess weight that's coming on that trestle is obviously not good for the long term if you've got trains potentially carrying hazardous material across a waterway, but also we've got kayakers that want to go up creek and want to enjoy and float this creek, and it's a danger to the people that are trying to enjoy their waterways.
This section of tracks is owned by the R.J. Corman Railroad Group based in Nicholasville, Kentucky. Its website shows it operates 19 short-line railroad companies spanning from Alabama to New York. McGee says she has contacted them numerous times over the last 2 years, asking for help to clean this up, and had no luck this time around.
Granted, the train company did not put the debris there, but they are the cause of the backup.
So we went directly to the Federal Railroad Administration.
Yeah, I just wanted to come out here and look at it and see what it was looking like now.
While out reporting on this story, an FRA inspector was there assessing the condition of the railroad and debris within 48 hours of us contacting them. Following the inspection, the FRA sent us a statement saying, quote, while our inspector observed moderate accumulation of debris against the bridge, i.e. drift, there are no immediate safety concerns about the track structure nor structural integrity of the bridge, end quote. Instead, the FRA cited R.J. Corman for failing to maintain proper drainage under the federal track safety standards, which says responsibility for inspection and maintenance resides with the railroad. R.J. Corman says they are aware of the debris under the bridge and says there is an ongoing plan for a springtime cleanup. In a statement saying, quote, in 2022, the company worked with the Alabama EPA to address the periodic buildup along the bridge. It was remediated and plans were put into place at that time to clean up this location on a continuing basis. Unfortunately, the spring weather leads to a more noticeable buildup of debris that enters the waterway from upstream, end quote. The statement goes on to say the bridge is inspected weekly and is in safe condition. On our Monday visit, crews started the cleanup process to remove the clog, sending some of the debris downstream.
I hope that they come out every time April calls.
Overton says she would like to help R.J. Corman develop a maintenance plan that's safe for the water.
Not just to get it cleaned up, but to get it maintained to where it doesn't get to this level.
The FRA is deciding whether or not to fine the company, and you can see R.J. Corman has already contracted out to clear much of this debris out out of the way. You can learn more about railroad and bridge safety by clicking on the story inside the CBS 42 News app. Reporting in Childersburg, Jen Cardone, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.